Yo. Well, they decided to drop some stuff on us late in the night, midnight my time, and oh man, 1.6 is going to be stacked just off of what we see here. Starting off with Forgotten Hall, which first off is another game mode that's going to cycle alongside with it called Pure Fiction. Basically going to be wave clearing. We already dealt with wave clearing. We're currently still doing it now as of the recording. Planar Affinity has like a day-ish left. But this is more just permanent one that's gonna just run alongside MOC as another endgame to have, and knit yourself up to another 720 Forgotten Hall changes. Next up, stage 11 and 12. We're already getting more stages of MOC before Genshin. Just put more stages of Spiral Abyss. Anyways, we get two new stages. They're not going to change the amount of rewards we're getting for clearing the first 10. They're gonna add another 60 per 3-star. So that's 720 for 2 weeks instead of 600. And then next up, we have an auto clear function, which means once it opens, you can basically, if you've 3-starred stages 1 through 7, you can just auto clear all 7 of those, and that's as far as it goes. And also just a little QOL, so we can just restart the challenge with the same team instead of having to go just hop back into the mode, reselecting the team, and then going back in. And also, if you die on the second half, you won't need to redo the first half. So if something goofy happened on your second phase, you can just hit the retry button and then just give that a go again. Just another time saver. And then the final adjustment that they got for us is how it's gonna be cycled. MOC will now last 6 weeks instead of 2. And Pure Fiction is also going to last for 6 weeks also. And what they're gonna do is every 2 weeks they're going to bring in one of the modes alongside. So it's never going to be one mode on its own. Well, until Pure Fiction gets introduced, yeah. So how, and what they're going to do is for 1.5, MOC's phases times are going to be adjusted to where 1.6 will start out with a new MOC day 1. So week 1 and 2, MOC, and then week 3, they'll introduce Pure Fiction, which will run alongside instead of just replacing. And then week 5 introduces, and then a new Turbulence or new enemy stages MOC is going to be introduced and still run alongside MOC 1 and not replace it. So you don't have to do just a magical bunch of adjusting, and also just give you more time if you need more on MOC 1. And then the cycle just repeats itself. And finally, self-molding resins and also other items for clearing new stages. So it's like clearing the stages, you'll get a new currency, you can exchange those for self-modeling resins, and then more rewards. Battle Pass adjustments. First off, the paid tier has a 680 Stellar Jade reward. They're going to push that to the first tier, and the 50th tier is going to have a self-molding resin, which should be giving us 2 instead of 1 from the Battle Pass. Next up, levels 51 through 70 are now introduced because of how fast people are clearing the BP, especially for people like me who get the $20 version. Even though I really get it just for the PFPs, it's like the extra tier just makes clearing BP feel a bit too fast. So 51 through 70 is just going to be another 10,000 credits, so that's 200,000 credits. And then also 20 relic remains for each level, so that's 400 relic remains, which is another 4 relics. Why did I click that? And then they're also going to be just doing some small adjustments to what rewards possibly getting. First off is the gifts, where they force us to select which kind of trace material we're gonna get. They're gonna replace those with a universal box that they hand out in events. So you don't have to choose them right off the rip and have that little icon annoy you until you pick one. And then they're gonna just adjust the missions, how much possibly BP experience we'll be receiving, what the missions will be. We'll know when they deal with that. This, not really much going on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, actually, no, there is a lot going on because just 8 slots is a little bit annoying to deal with. Sometimes you just gotta keep spam clicking to just fill out all 8 slots with low grade relics, then wait for it to level up. It's kind of bypasses that a smidge bit, so you can just pick a specific level to get the relic to if you know you already have the necessary mats for it. And also auto salvaging, which means if you can just filter out which kind of relics you don't want, which means if they have a certain main stat you don't want, or substats you don't want, or set you don't want, or star you don't want of the relics. It's like once you get it from completing, like, for example, a cavern or corrosion stage, or just your normal simulated universe, those are just auto salvage, and the pieces you can use as just straight up EXP. It would be pretty nice. And then just to finish it off, just a little bit of small stuff, which means we're gonna be getting multiple support characters that we can set on the Trailblaze profile instead of one. So you're not just trying to switch it every time a new character drops to try to get rewards. Or if a friend is like, hey yo, can you switch to this character for me real quick? You don't have to do that. You just gotta set multiple ones, however many they're gonna let us set. And then also we can display a little more characters, because 3 isn't enough to really describe how strong someone's account is. Because they could have just super grinded the 4 characters they have on there, which would be their support, and the 3 others they show on the bottom. Like Genshin, for example, has 8, which that gives a little bit more of a showing of how someone spends their time on their account. Hopefully it does increase to probably about that number. That would be good. And then for convenience sake, you can now pin friends for supports if you're constantly using them. You don't have to keep scrolling to find them. And that basically sums up everything. All I can say is we will be eating good 1.6. Oh man. It's like that to give us this along with the characters. We got Ruin May on the way. We got Dr. Ratio, and who was the 4-star? I gotta scroll. I gotta Shui. Quantum Destruction. That's still so goofy. Quantum Destruction. So that extra solidifies my plan. I will be summoning 1.6. As soon as I saw Ruin May, it's like, oh, well, it was like, I really wasn't planning on summoning 1.5, and we'll see in the future, but yeah, 1.6 we're summoning, boys. It's about that time. I'll just catch you on the next one, and just make sure to subscribe, get your gacha luck up by 5% by doing so, and I catch you. Peace.